Goliath.
Welcome back, Shinners. Welcome back to the Shindig podcast, where we get under the skin of the Trials community. I'm Tom Hutley, and I am here with
Matt Pengelly.
And we have a very special guest today. Everyone's a special guest on the Shindig podcast. I don't know why I say that.
New youngest.
Yeah,
only by a few months. So, Charlie, you're booted off of that area now. It's Mr. Adam Morewood.
Yo, Adam.
Yeah, all right.
How's it going?
Good, thank you. Are you?
Yes, man. Loving life.
Yeah, doing well. It's a sunny day, isn't it?
It's sunny in your part of the world?
It's quite windy, but it's not raining, so can't complain.
Whereabouts in the UK are you for our listeners, Adam?
I'm about 20 minutes from Sheffield, between Sheffield and Chesterfield, just on the edge of the Peak District.
Another northerner, Yorkshire man.
I mean, I just don't get how you guys up there just ride. It's I swear every video that goes on like your Instagram, there's always so much wind noise.
Yeah.
Like,
Either windy or raining all the time, yeah.
Yeah, so you've been in the scene for someone who's the youngest who we've had on the show. You've been riding trials for still quite a long time, really, haven't you? How long have you been on your bike?
As long as I can remember, really. I remember the earliest I can remember was like when I was 2 or 3. I used to go to motorbike world championships with Donna Fox.
Mm-hmm.
We used to travel with her because my dad was her minder. I just used to ride around, jump off curbs. And,
we all did, yeah.
Yeah, and then just never really stopped. Just continued from that.
I think we can see that in Adam's riding. For those that don't actually have seen him ride, but I'm sure you will after this. And how old are you, Adam? We say the youngest. How old are you actually now?
I was 19 a few weeks ago.
So he's covering grounds because this is 18 only.
Yeah, over 18.
It's over 18 only. I actually got it wrong. I thought that you were just turning 18.
Well, it was like, quick, we'll grab him. You know, he's over 18. He's like, he's allowed to come on and, comes to the dark side of trials, effectively.
Yeah. So let's get into a bit about Adam, because I'm sure there are people that don't know you. You are quite a lad, but you're one hell of a rider. For people that don't know. We've already sort of been. How long have you been riding? So you're 2 years old when you started. You're now 19. Anyone that's good at maths, it's longer than I've been riding.
Yeah, that's
what I'm trying to get at. 17 years.
Age, yeah, similar. Yeah.
And do you remember that first sort of bike that you'd had where you realised this might be for you, and you you grew that passion?
Yeah, I would say it was a white Monty 205 with a front disc. I remember that, and that was where I really started to enjoy it and do little stupid stuff on my bike, really. Just trying weird stuff. Like, I don't really remember why, but whenever I'd be going to, my mum and dad used to go to the pub sometimes on a Friday. There was some rocks outside, so every time I'd take my bike, and they just.
I bet your dad loved that too. Like, we can get to the pub and that way we can let Adam ride his bike outside.
Mate,
that's awesome.
I would love that today. We'd go have a few pints and then just
you were riding rocks before I got on a trials bike.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I was 5 or 6, something like that.
And then how did it then progress from there? So when was it just kind of just casually potting around on rocks and having fun? What was like the first, into the world of trials, like to actually go big?
I remember the BRU European Championships when I was 7 in La Scala. Jack was, I think, like 15, something like that. Mm. And I remember that one quite clearly. I was second in my first like European trial, and I was winning until the last section. And then it was one of those where I didn't really understand the rules. Mm. And at BRU you go over like tape at the end, so like a finishing gate sort of thing. And I went over the wrong tape. Like I went outside the section instead of over the finishing tape.
You didn't actually know.
Because I thought that was the end, but obviously not. So I got a 5 for that, and then I was second. So
that you've heard it here first. You see, even the best riders still now just go through the wrong gate, go over the tape. It's so simple to mess it up. You yourself have had quite a bit more of a competition journey, like obviously everyone's had their trials journey, career, however you want to call it, and you've always been sort of working towards comps. Is that right?
Yeah, I've always just loved the feeling of competition. Like you can ride as much as you want around here. Like I could ride rocks all the time and it's always different. Whereas when you go to a competition, you've got to ride what's set in front of you. I think that's quite a cool challenge. Like there's no skipping things out. You've just got to do it.
Yeah, and that's what we might be missing out on. A lot of other riders doing these street things. You're forced, aren't you? Very much sort of forced. So I can
do it.
And the having that end result, you know, at the end of the day, something to kind of show for it. Quite often, just coming back with an aching body, it isn't really anything to show for it. So you came second then. You're quite young. I just wanted to know how many competitions you've actually won over the years, over these sort of 17 years of riding.
I've been BRU World Champion 4 times. So every age group until now I'm in elite. Obviously, I haven't won that. But
yet,
to be honest, that would be quite a big aim. I've always really loved BRU. I know people give it some stick and whatever, but because I always ride natural, I love the natural riding of BRU. So that would be a big goal. And I've also been UCI World Champion once as well.
So just to kind of as a recap for people that might be new to trials or don't understand the competitions, you might be the best person to explain this actually. Big difference between BRU and UCI. They're the two kind of factions of trials. What is the main differences, Adam?
Well, the main difference probably BRU is more natural than UCI. And also you can touch your pedal on the floor. You can basically touch anything apart from your feet and your hands and your body. Pretty much the main difference.
And that way on the other side of it, UCI, you can't use any of those or you'll be penalised in some way, or dabs as we call them, you know.
Ban the dab.
Ban the dab. I know you're one for a good old tactical dab, Adam.
Let's not put it. I mean, come on. When you see the height of some of the things in the competition.
This is what I'm getting at. You were so young. This is back. I'm saying like 2013. You know, that's when I remember sort of probably meeting you when I went to the competitions.
Yeah.
Quite a while ago. Adam, I think then was beating me quite fair and square. I might have been able to jump up a pallet harder, but I couldn't stay on the pallet. Do you know what I mean? So that was that kind of initial journey through me realizing that it doesn't matter on your age or how these guys are amazing trials riders before they're getting to that level. And it's like you and Charlie sort of segueing into that. What's the competition like between you two? Is it healthy?
Give us some dirt.
Give us something that we won't, you know.
It's healthy. When we were younger, it was always like us against each other in British competitions and stuff. And then in worlds of like BRU, he would always win in his last year. And then hopefully the next year I would follow his footsteps. So we've always been like really good friends. There's no beef at all.
It's a shame because sometimes it's quite healthy. I'm sure there's a little bit of banter between, you, of course, Adam's done that. Oh, I better do that, you know. I'm sure there's an element of that somewhere. Maybe you're watching Charlie.
Yeah, maybe when we were younger, it was like when Charlie won the BRU. I remember, I think it was Benjamin, so under 12. I remember that one. Charlie won when he was 12, and I was like, I really want that to be me next year. And there was a bit of banter there, and he was like, yeah, go on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're pushing each other, obviously, sort of very similar age. You've been riding for similar time frames. You've grown up together, going to competitions, right? You know, your families know each other quite well. So I've always seen you guys as rivals, but friends.
There's no rivalry, really.
in a positive way.
Yeah.
Well, go on.
No, sorry. I was just about to say, in the we spoke about, where you are, and of course you've got this access to some wonderful natural, and you love riding a lot of natural. How do you stay motivated when you go out and ride natural? Do you have a training procedure, and how often do you ride?
Well, the main thing recently I've been riding every day. I ride on my own, so there's no one around. So at first it was a bit like, what, I need to do something, because when the weather's horrible and there's no one around, it's always kind of a bit off-putting. Like, I don't want to try that, I might crash, or I don't want to hurt myself and there's no one around. So it's quite a weird one, but literally just putting my earphones in, listening to music while I was riding, it felt like not as lonely when I was riding. And I guess you can say sometimes the type of music like influences the way I ride some days.
Yeah, 100%.
Weird, but that's how I feel.
So what would be on your playlist? Is it kind of a big heavy metal thrash, like, yeah, get up that damn rock? Or is it more, let's go smooth and chilled?
It's a mixture, really. You know, Arctic Monkeys from Sheffield?
Yeah.
They're like, my dad used to listen to them, so I grew up listening to them.
Great band. I met the drummer Alex years ago.
I had the guitarist in my cab one point.
Right? See, there we go. But awesome band, mate. Yeah, there's quite a good few Trolls videos with their Brainstorm track that they did, because it's that so fast.
Yeah, that sort of thing.
Good choice, mate. I like what I'm hearing. Yeah, I mean, someone who rides on their own, I find trying to find those kind of motivations, because I know a lot of people ride on their own. Lots of people who listen to this ride on their own. I just can't genuinely do it myself.
And then when you are out and about, you've got your music in. Is it like, you know, I want to go home, or I've got to do something good before I can go home, or just ride for a set amount of hours?
I do quite a mixture. Like, I really enjoy like technical practicing. So I'll do maybe like an hour of technical at first, do like almost as a warm-up, but just to gain like the feeling of the bike, gain the control, that sort of thing, and then try and do an hour of hard moves, and then for the last half an hour almost just like try stuff that I can't do, so hopefully at some point I will be able to do them. That was my main aim recently, just trying to do stuff that I can't do.
So actually failing, when you say that, are you actually failing each time?
Yeah, all the time.
Interesting.
That's the main thing. Because I could feel myself like, I know where I want to be, but to do that, I need to just crash and fall off and not be able to do some stuff. Like, there's some stuff that I absolutely hate doing. Like, I was out this morning, there's just one move that every time I look at it, I'm like, why? But you just got to do them sort of things, aren't you? Like, in a competition, it's going to be there. You know it'll be there.
Yeah. Like a wrong way side up.
That's actually what I was on about this morning.
Do you know what? That's the only thing. I absolutely hate them.
I was trying to get Matt to do them this weekend, and it just looks so like his legs turn like Bambi on ice, and he's like falling everywhere.
I just heard Sam Wheeler laugh at me in the background, like, "What are you doing?" But he's.
Yeah, I like that though, because at the end of the day, you're not going to get any better if you just practice what you're good at. Like, you're just going to plateau. So to approach it head on, and like you say, it's going to come up at some point.
Yeah, that is a big thing. Like, wrong way side up this morning, it's like I can't, maybe half a foot the takeoff, and if you fall one way, it's quite a big fall. So it's one of them where you're just like, UCI would probably put that in. So
you're like, I'm gonna have to do it. It's not out of out of your comfort zone. This is obviously the main thing, because at the end of the day, if you ain't going to do that, you aren't going to do that in the competition.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it in a try.
So, how do you feel? Obviously, sort of last year there were no comps. You couldn't compete. Was that one of your first years you hadn't competed in many years, or give us a little bit on sort of missing out on the comps last year? I'm sure they were sort of quite saddened by that.
Yeah, I've never really missed many competitions. I had a broken ankle the year before, but I still did the competitions, just not very well.
How did you break your ankle, out of curiosity? Was it trials?
That was riding, yeah.
Wow.
I didn't really realise though, because I literally just jumped off something. You know when you...
Wait, you didn't realise it was broken? Is that what you mean?
Yeah. I was quite happy with the move. Like, I'd just done a gap, and I was like, oh, I've never done that before. And as I jumped off, I jumped and slightly twisted in midair. And when I landed, I was like, oh, that didn't feel right. Didn't really think much of it. And then literally, I didn't find out it was broken for like a month after, because the hospital didn't see the cracks either. So I had to go to a specialist doctor, and he saw it, and he was like, I don't know what the hospital has seen, but there's 2 clear cracks.
Jeez.
Wow. And how painful was that one? Was that the
It was my
worst
left.
injury you've had?
Yeah, I would say. Although I
Yeah.
had concussion a few years ago, that was quite bad. But I'd say the ankle was worse because you can, like now, this morning when it's really cold, I have to put like 2 or 3 pairs of socks on that foot because I can still feel the pain sometimes, not all the time.
Well, it doesn't sound quite as bad as a. Sorry, it sounds worse than a shindig.
Yeah.
I was going to say it doesn't sound quite as bad as a shindig, and I think you might have surpassed that as an injury. So, fair play, mate. No, good for you. Yeah, just going back to what you sort of missed on. What were the competitions you did miss out last year?
The main one for me last year was the Junior Worlds because that was like my main aim for.
You would have won it. Sorry. Yes, mate. We know. That's big for us. That's what we're saying. We're saddened that you missed it too, because
It's a big opportunity to get another one under your belt. You know?
yeah. And
Yeah.
I believe that you could have pulled that one out of the bag for that win, because Charlie wouldn't have been in that one.
Yeah, that was like the main aim because obviously it's the first opportunity at a rainbow jersey, so who doesn't want to miss out on
Of
that?
course, mate. Like the best and most important jersey. But I think there'll be another opportunity for you. I hope there will be, mate.
Hopefully.
Keep going, stick the practice in, and why not? You know, it's just a great journey to see, man.
And throughout your trials career, I'm going to call it career because it is. Sort of give us a bit of a backstory on your support throughout the years. Your sponsor journey, just kind of a start to where you are now.
Yeah. My first main sponsor was probably Monty or Tarty Bikes. I can't remember which came first.
Mm-hmm.
I've been with Tarty like 12 years.
They snapped you up from the word go, weren't they? Very start, like, we know he's going to be good. Yeah.
Yeah, Monty, when I think it was from like age 7 to 11. I think something like that.
Sponsored at 7, yes.
Yeah,
yes,
mate. It's like everyone's dream. Like when you turn teenage, like, I'm going to send a sponsor video out, and Adam's like, "Yeah, I've already done it." You know.
and that was on. Did you get your first bike? Your first bike was a Monty too, wasn't it? A 205. You said so. And
it
getting
was
sponsored by Monty. Yeah.
Yeah, it was quite a weird one because my mum and dad did motorbike trials and rode for Sherco, and that importer over here also imported Monty's. So obviously they saw me, and then they were a bit like, "Oh, do you want a bike?" And then it just grew from there. So that was quite cool.
Just a segue, where kind of is Monty now? Because obviously it was a big brand here in the UK. I mean, it's not as. Is it just still about, or is it just
a point.
A lot smaller than what it was?
Not really heard much
I feel
about
like
it.
this will be a question for Adam Reed when he comes on the show eventually.
Yes.
He'll know this answer.
Yeah.
And we're calling him out now, and testing them. But no, I don't know even myself. I know last thing they made was the Monty,
because they were massive, and like you say, they came in obviously with the like motor trial stuff, and it was kind of, I suppose, like the accessory to kind of like motor trials, really, wasn't it? That was that was the bike that all the kids sort of got onto as their first, well, like yourself, the first sort of starting bike, really.
And what was after Monty? What were you riding after that? At any point?
I had a little spell with Onza.
That's what I was just. Did you ride an Onza? Everyone's ridden an Onza.
Yeah, I think I had a prototype Onza for, I can't remember how long, but it was like halfway between a 207 and a full size 20-inch. So that was good from them, really.
So that middle ground as you're growing up.
Yeah, because you don't want to go straight to a 20-inch when I wouldn't have been able to handle that. But the 207 was obviously too small, so.
Yeah. What was your favourite? What's been your favourite sort of trials bike that you can remember?
To be honest, the current bike I'm riding now I couldn't fault it. Yeah, absolutely perfect. Like the stiffness compared to like every Jitsie.
So just so everyone knows, you're riding a Jitsie. Tell everyone what you're riding right now.
Yeah, so I've been with the Jitsie team for like 7 years, I think. And every single bike seems to, it might not look too different to the public, but when you ride it, you can tell every single time that's innovated a little bit, and every little step is getting better. And the one I'm riding now, it's so stiff. It like the first time I rode it, instantly I was better. That's when it hit me like, this is the one.
I do like their engineering of their frames because they've gone for like the less is more.
Yeah, and there's certain components as well, like the stems that got the bolts like around the side, like out of the way. Like you've seen those.
Oh yes, yeah, because you can. Yeah. Sorry, go on.
That was the big thing we wanted because like when you go gap to front, it all just rips up your abs.
We had to file your bolt stem, didn't we?
Yeah, on my stem, yeah.
It's not a nice feeling.
Well, that shredded look, like not actually shredded, like, but yeah, shredded. Yeah.
No, I think they're coming out with some, really, really good stuff. The frame's definitely improving.
You say it was like a lot stiffer. I mean, do you know how that was done? Like, because
yeah, well, the machining is different, so the tubing's actually different on this one. And they also the one I'm on now is a little bit different.
Is it a prototype that no one else has? Yeah, maybe. Can we talk about new parts that no one else has got? Or maybe a little bit. Go into that.
Just tease
us into it.
So there is a through axle front and back on this new one.
Ooh. I mean, that's what the world's gonna.
Everyone's got going through
every
axles.
trials.
Yeah,
every trials company's gonna.
Which is really annoying because it's only annoying in the people like us that kind of upgrade bits at a time, or some people that like.
I like to mix and match things. That's what I was getting a frame off Owen Gawthorpe, like one of his older ones recently. He's like, oh, he goes, oh damn it, I can't give you that. I have to give you the rear hub with it too. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, it needs that specific rear. I was like, ah. But so Jitsie, moving on. But
it is a lot higher end stuff though, really, isn't it? Because trials bikes in years gone by have always been a bit. You see downhill bikes and they've got all through axles and everything just like clicks together.
We might need to catch up with the rest of the bike
industry.
Whereas
trials bikes are just a bit like, I'll just hammer that there, snail cam there, and
so they're on through axles now. How are you finding this new build?
It's a lot better. It's so much easier as well.
Yeah,
and just like you can have full faith in the bike now. Like I can try anything and I know it's fine.
You can obviously feel how stiff it is. I know for a fact because my Echo's so flexy. I mean, it is cracked, so that might be why. But it is. You get onto these newer frames. The Krukers being obviously another kind of competition for Jitsie. They are so stiff. The stiffest
carbon, of course, is an advantage because the same sort of thing.
And Tom's mentioned a bit of carbon there. Did we see some Jitsie carbon? Are you allowed to talk about that? Are Jitsie going to listen to this? Are they going to get me in trouble? I mean, can you talk about them? Oh dear, do you know that's TGS Chris trying to call us right now? He just got himself into the first podcast.
There we go.
But we'll have to cancel on him.
We're talking about competitions, Chris. Natural, no TGS.
Sorry, I'll put my phone back. Sorry, Adam, back to you.
Well, I guess that's one of the positives about Corona that's happened. We've been able to test a lot of things for the past year because obviously in a normal year you wouldn't really want to be testing stuff around competition season. So between us and the guys at Jitsie, we have been able to test quite a lot of things, and recently, the one is the carbon fork.
Nice. And obviously, I guess as a testing rider, that's probably why you have to ride every day to really test something.
Yeah,
right? Are there certain things that they say, you try this, or they're just like, here's the forks, come back to us?
No, it's more like this is the hours we want it to reach.
Mm-hmm.
Try your best to get to that. Throw it at everything. If it breaks, it breaks. We want to know what it needs to improve on, or what is good about it, what's not good about it. And I think a weird thing with testing is though, like sometimes we can get two products the exact same, but they're actually different, because they're only made on a small scale.
Yeah.
True. Yeah. So it's like a sample itself, and obviously the production line. Yeah.
Yeah. With it being a sample, it can be the exact same fork or exact same stem, stuff like that, and it can actually be different.
Yeah.
So it's quite strange.
I've had that before actually, where only recently with Onza, the prototype frames usually last longer than the production. They're just like put my Genesis. I had one of the prototype Genesis that lasted probably 6 months longer than the production frame did. Wow. I don't know whether they put more effort into that sample, but it's a thing. I can totally sort of see that. And is there anything else that we don't know that they're testing other than forks? You've got a new frame. Anything you're allowed to say, or you can say that they are, but you can't.
There is one thing that no one in trials will have ever seen yet, but I'm not going to drop that one yet.
Okay, cool.
Watch
That's
this space,
fine.
guys. Jitsie.
So
yeah,
that will be interesting.
I don't think anyone has done it yet, but we've tried one before, and getting a new sample this week for it. And if it works, it'll be a game changer, I think.
Wow, I love this already. So, Adams, after this. Now you're gonna have people messaging you like, oh wow, what's this? What is it? What is it? Because we're like a few weeks ahead right now, so be prepared.
So that's pretty cool then. I mean, to know that you're kind of helping push like the sport in terms of what it's then gonna be in terms of components. I was thinking earlier as well, Jitsie must be a pretty damn good sponsor because they make everything.
Yeah.
From head to toe, you've got your helmet, you've got your shoes, you've got your clothing, you've got the bike.
Yeah, it's literally the best I could ask for. They supply me with everything. It's perfect.
I do sort of look at them and feel like they're one of the most supportive brands in terms of team riders. They seem super supportive. I do have to ask, is it law that you have to wear your Jitsie jerseys when you ride? It's a rumor that I've heard. I just wanted to clarify it. Is this true?
I don't know. I've never really been put in the situation because it's natural for me to ride in it.
Of course. It's not like written. Let me be more precise. Is it written in a contract where you have to sign, like, you must wear Jitsie? Someone said it to me. It might have been a joke. You know how I get. That you have to wear Jitsie jerseys when you ride your trials bike. But maybe not. You can say it's like, well.
Not that I can remember.
Okay.
I mean, I signed the contract quite a few years ago, so I can't really remember. But
he missed the small print where he's going to go back through, and his dad's like, yeah, that's what you have to wear it like in small print somewhere.
Well, then again, if they provide it all, I'd be like us. Like if someone was providing me with clothing, I'd go.
I think it's awesome. I was just like interested to see if that was like, it would be a cool rule. I mean, I'm going to make it a rule for any ambassador for the shindigs. Be like, sorry, you're not in the video.
Yeah, like, I know you got 2 hoodies. Like
you own 2 hoodies.
I mean, like the amount that they supply me, I wouldn't do anything else. Like,
no, it doesn't even do any
washing. The amount of help they give me, it's just helping to give it back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they're the only company that I know you can just buy all the gear and have no idea and like look the part. There are people who are fully in dress, and you're like, mate, he looks like a sick rider, like someone who is amazing. And then, they might not be a world pro, but
to be fair, a lot of people do wear it are pretty good.
No, that's what I'm saying. People who wear it are genuinely pretty good. So I think like put yourself in head to toe, and you'll be that, all the gear sort of. No idea. Right. Should we go on to our little quick fire round? Let's get some more out of Adam and see.
The quick fire. Adam, we've got a quick fire round of 3 questions. So we'll keep this nice and quick. We never do it.
We never do it quick.
We just call it the round. Okay. So your absolute favourite spot in the world, if we could put you anywhere in the world, where would you want to ride?
Higator, it's got to be. If you've never been, you've got to go.
Is it called? Sorry, again. Say that again.
Higator.
Higator. Where's that?
Just near me. It's about 15 minutes from me. It's probably the best natural spot around here. When it's not windy and the weather's good, it's so busy.
Is it like a Granite Moors style spot?
Yeah, it's so good. I can't even explain. The amount of lines there is just. You see different lines every time you go.
So you're currently at this. Say it again. I feel like I need to remember it. Higator. Yes. Higator. Who's inspiring you there? Who's riding with you, or who's inspiring you to sort of ride there?
I've never really seen loads of people ride there. I've seen Jackson a few videos there, but
who would you want to ride with there? That's the question.
If there was anyone who's going to push you on, shout your name and go for it, Adam, go for it. Like, who was the rider who's going to be there with you? Could be worldwide.
I think it'd be between a few, like Charlie, Alejandro, and Borja. Technical riders. Because the amount of lines there that on a video it might not look hard, but the takeoff is like awful, or the run-up is completely not flat, but you can't see that on a video. Yeah,
right. No, I get you. They are, when you watch them in a competition, then, yeah, of course you.
And I suppose between all you guys who obviously like world champions or competing at the worlds, that's what you all crave for. It's just like getting dirtier and doing worse takeoffs and doing dodgy run ups, right? That's probably what you push each other on.
Taking off the pointiest part of the rock, or anything that we would stay away from, basically.
Probably.
We ourselves be like, oh, sure, we should go and ride some natural soon, though. I'm sure
We'd have to pump our tyres up for that, though, I think.
you won't.
I won't, actually, yeah.
You won't. Oh, well, that's a good point, actually. We realised that there is someone who rides with hard tyres, which is you, Adam. Tom was like, excuse me, Adam Moore rides with hard tyres. I don't need to let him down.
To be fair, I do ride with quite hard tyres.
Yes, super.
Oh, God, I was glad.
Solid. But that's what just made Tom feel better, because I'm just like, mate, like there's no compression on his tyre whatsoever.
Oh, you'd be on I'll be on a rail and my tyre would just look completely normal. Like, yeah, they just... That's what it's about.
And you're on a 20-inch, so people that don't realise, he's on a 20-inch Jitsie varial. Sorry. Would we always ride 20-inch? Have you tried 26? What are your thoughts on that?
I've tried Danny Butler's 26-inch at a few shows and stuff, but I don't think I'll ever move to 26. I just like how 20-inch you can ride like technical stuff and flick it around more and just do weird, horrible things. Like
nasty
do
moves.
Weird, horrible things.
That's what him and Charlie have the same thing. Because Charlie was the same. He's like, well, most of the stuff Charlie does on his bike, he's like, I can't do that on a stock.
I just like his exact use of words.
Yeah.
Like, I want to do weird, horrible things on my bike. That's epic. That's what you want from a trials rider. Like
Right,
that weird point. Yeah, give it to me.
Well, he's in his favourite spot now. You've got your bunch of riders. What is that one move that really gets you buzzed, that you're really satisfied with?
I mean, any front move has got to be, when it's done right, it's satisfying. But recently, just gaps to back. I don't know why. It's just suddenly happened where I just enjoy doing gaps to back quite a lot.
Is it sort of suddenly got a little bit more power to yourself, do you feel? Or...
Yeah, like gaps I was doing to front last year and now a gap to back.
Jeez.
So feeling like the progression has made me enjoy them more, probably.
That's really good to hear, because your balance is there, mate. I mean, I've seen you as a rider as a kid. That's where that kind of you were probably gunning to just build up your strength and your actual power. Is there any specific training that you do that's off your bike?
Yeah, I do gym as well. So I have a personal trainer who I've been with for 8-9 years.
Oh, wow. So you've got a very good relationship with them. As
recognised by like a Derbyshire sports thing, and they put me with him and were like, we want you to help him. So they helped me, and then it all fizzled out a little bit. They were like, oh, we only want Olympic people now. So I was like, fair enough. And I went back to that trainer, and then we've just been working on it ever since. And that was probably the main aim. I've been waiting to hit like my maximum growth so now I can work as hard as I can on getting more power and strength.
Yeah, strength. And how often, what does your actual kind of routine look like in terms of with the riding and the working out together? I know you ride every day. You did say that. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm riding probably pretty much every day, but I also do quite a lot of mountain biking for my stamina, and then also do 3 or 4 sessions of gym a week, and each day is like a little bit of a different focus. So some days it's more like the speed of the movement, because obviously in trials you don't want to be just massive, you want to have the power, and you don't want to have too much muscle, or it's quite a fine balance really.
Yeah, sure. You want to build up your strength, build your muscle, but once your muscle's too big, it's too heavy.
Yeah.
So that kind of getting as you say, the balance right is key.
Yeah, it's quite strange because like last year, I know there was no competitions, but my weight was like up and down all the time, and trying to find like that optimum weight where I wasn't too heavy, but I was still as powerful as I could be. It's quite strange, but now it's like stayed quite similar for a while. So
I'm sure that's probably different from rider to rider because obviously it depends entirely on your style. You know,
Yeah,
if you've
yeah,
got a lot of
definitely.
balance moves involved, or that's one of your strong points, then you can't add too much weight because of center of gravity. But then, conversely, some
Yeah.
people do need power to then get them over like a certain gap or a jump.
Yeah, I guess everyone's riding is different with that because you get some riders in World Cups who, if you ask them to ride like along a balance beam or something, they probably couldn't do it, but they could probably get in a final if every move was big.
Yeah.
It's,
And isn't
I
it
guess
strange
it's
how
finding the balance.
we don't see that perhaps in any other sport? Like, when I mean that, you could see someone do a gap on a trials bike and you're like, wow, he used pure power and like lift to get from there to there. Then you see maybe Wheeler or someone else who just used like technique with obviously power combined. But on a BMXer and they do a gap, they're just the same. You just hit it, you hit the jump. I mean it by like the style of its.
I think it's probably a bit different because maybe more BMX stuff is a lot more momentum based, isn't it? So you're just using.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Obviously,
Yeah.
it is down to speed and momentum. With trials, you're like technique and power, but you can have a weaker one of the other and still get the same result to some extent.
I reckon probably the parallel I'd probably draw between is maybe say boxing or something. You get
Yeah,
the same class of, let's say, like a heavyweight boxer, but physicalities between them, they're entirely different. But the smaller guy can still beat.
all about timing and speed, isn't it? Because with trials, you could have that sort of speed, but if your timing's off, speed's nothing.
Yeah.
So
And like you say, you could have most powerful rider, balance beam, see you later,
yeah. What whilst I remember now, what I'm also going to try and do and ask all the 20-inch riders, because everyone loves to know what stem geometry you are running, because there's so many out there now, all these different things. I want to know what bar and stem you're running on your Jitsie.
I've got a 150 stem, 25-degree angle in the high-rise bars.
Yes. Sorry, I was just like, because I'm a 155, 25 degrees, so I can just say I'm like the same as Adam, but I'm a little bit taller than him, I think.
That's what that extra 5.
That's what that extra 5 is for. Yeah. So everyone that was wondering, a couple of people have mentioned they want to know sort of what everyone's riding. So you heard it here first. And what were the handlebars? The Jitsie high rise, did you say?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, they
Jitsie high rise handlebars. Love it.
No, but what we've got to get to at one point is, lever angles. No one's ever discussed that, right?
Well, I thought the other day I was trying to come up with a device that would measure bar angle and stem that we could, like, so you could say, oh, this is the setting 5. So everyone would be like, oh yeah, I know what it is.
Oh,
and
like
it would
standard,
measure, like a standard, it would actually measure like what, I'm sure that already exists. It's probably, some people write it on the handlebars. You know, the Trialtech SLs, they've got all the numbers. I'm sure that's what that's for, isn't it? That's why there's like actual digits written on the handlebars.
But that is mad. I mean, how do you... What do you really would look for in terms of like a bar and stem then? Like because I just copy people, so that's just my rule. So you obviously
trial and error.
You're quite good at riding, so I want to hear you.
I mean, everyone seems to have it quite different. Like me and Alejandro are running the same bike, but his bars are so much further forward than mine, even though we're pretty much the same height. So I guess it's really just personal preference on what moves you prefer to do. Like, I don't know. I have my bars quite far back compared to most riders now.
And that's because the way that you rode it from day one, wasn't it, I suppose?
Yeah, I guess I was just used to it and I just preferred that feeling. I've tried it further forward and it seemed to be like when I'd lift the front, I'd just hit in like right into everything. So I was obviously not too bothered about that.
Yeah, you're just like, I have to yank it up that much more. I mean, doing that, I'd like to think that over the 16, 17 years of riding, you've got yourself a shindig at some point, mate.
Oh, wait. I've just realised something.
He wears shin pads.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, this is what I'm saying. I know that you wear shin pads. It's okay. It's safety.
No, but I still very
But I was going to say, I still think you've had a shindig. Haven't you?
Go, come on. Like,
yeah, he has. Okay. It's good. Can you remember it? Can you tell us a little bit about it?
I can remember my first one. I think I was on holiday in like France with my bike and my mum was like, do you want to go to the shop? So I was like, yeah. My dad was like, right, if you're going on your bike, be careful. Don't try anything.
Yeah, because you're not kitted up, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, I won't. And then I remember there was a bench outside the shops, and I was like, oh, I've got to try that. And then, yeah, first time shindig straight away.
Bet your dad straight away been like, Adam, like, this is why you wear shin pads. I mean, obviously, we should be clear that we encourage anyone below the age of 18 to wear shin pads.
100%. Or anyone just getting into the sport.
Anyone getting into the sport, anyone who's fresh to it. Despite us being very much driven by we love a good shindig.
Anyone actually who wants to wear them, to be fair. Like,
yeah, anyone should. We don't want to. I don't think we've touched base on that enough. Of course, if you feel more comfortable, you wear shin pads. It is.
I mean,
I
you
think
can still get a shindig with shin pads. To be fair,
we didn't know this. So, were you about to tell us that you've got a shindig whilst wearing shin pads before?
Yeah.
This is it, right? Tell us the story.
If you hit them right, like it spins a little, like they never, fully in place. Or as well as that, sometimes you can get it like under the shin pad.
You might have to educate us. Are they like socks or do they strap around?
I've got a set of them upstairs somewhere.
What?
Yeah.
What?
I just weren't wearing them that day. I got
right, get out. That's it. You're off the podcast.
Once I started hanging around with you, I hid them, you know?
You're off the podcast. Fuck off. Go. So, I've been wondering all this time. Yeah, you have got shin pads.
I think I've got them. Yeah, Jitsie ones, yeah.
To be fair, that was more with my old ones. Like, I can't remember what they were called. I think it was like G-form or something. I can't really remember.
I mean, obviously there aren't many.
Been all the time.
There aren't many choices for shin pads. And we'll be quite clear. It's probably, if you are going to get shin pads, get the Jitsie ones.
Yeah.
They are the best ones.
Yeah, just in terms of obviously being a minimal form factor that you can ride with.
Yeah.
You can't really tell that you've got them on. That's the best thing, I think. Like, it just feels normal. Like, I've got them on now because I've only just got back from riding.
What?
Walking
You're
around my
wearing...
kitchen. You know what that is? When you unload
That's
the
so
dish,
good.
when you unload the dishwasher and it comes in your shin sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah. Always. And what's so the irony? Adam's been like, do you know what? I did a shindig podcast whilst wearing shin pads.
Screw you, Matt and Tom. I'll show you. I'll wear my.
Mate, that is so funny. I can't.
I've lost Matt now.
No, it's all right. Sorry. I lost.
No, there is no beef to it. It's just like
of course. Shin pads. I wore shin pads when I was a little kid, but I was before I rode trials. You know, just obviously for safety. Your parents, you know, look after you.
But anyone who's starting out, hasn't been on a bike for years or whatever, go for it.
Yeah, please do.
We're not going to call anyone out whilst we're riding and say that, like, you're not part. Yeah,
yeah, we are.
As long as you're on a trials bike and you're wearing a helmet, then 100%. Do what the hell you want.
You will be disrespected if you're not wearing a helmet. That's what I will mention. 100%. But shin pads. Adam wears them. He's one of the best riders in the UK right now. So don't be put off by us saying that. I'm glad we've kind of put that out there now. But if you ever see me wearing shin pads, I'll let anyone come and punch me in the face. Said it out now. If you see me wearing shin pads,
I want to drug you and then just slide these shin pads on your sleeve. And then just,
At Radfest, I'll be asleep and wake up and be like, oh my God, I'm having a nightmare. Well, do you want to know why? Mate, you get tan lines when you wear shorts.
That is true.
Same thing.
It's quite bad.
Right, I mean, that's what I mean.
But same goes for gloves, same goes for helmet strap lines.
Get a bit sweaty.
Being so vain, man. So we've got the shindig in there. We've got... Yeah, but you said... Yeah, you managed to get a bad one with the pads anyway. Well, they just go under...
That wasn't recently, to be fair. That was with my old ones. Gotcha. I can't remember what they were. It was like 6-7 years ago, before the Jitsie ones were around.
Basically, what you're saying is, don't worry, the Jitsie ones work.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Yeah, they will do.
So let's move off that.
You've got any other sort of sponsors that people might not? Is Jitsie your only kind of backing? We know Tarty Bikes very much supporting you. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, Tarty Bikes have always been really good with me. Obviously, they recognised me when I was quite young, so I can always be grateful for them because they've obviously helped me to get where I am. They always it was helpful when I was going through tyres all the time. When you go through that phase where you do skids all the time, it was always useful.
Yeah, I think we all still do that. We were doing some skids on the weekend, weren't we? As wasn't a joke, we actually were, funny enough.
So what's next for you, Adam? What's the next milestone or the thing you're looking forward to in trials? What's the
This year my big aim is probably to get in the top 10. I mean, I would say I'd love to get into a final, but maybe next year. I think if we're going to be realistic, it depends really, because I feel like it depends completely on how the sections are. Because obviously I'm not as powerful as some riders, but it depends on what they want to do, whether they want to do more technical sections. Like if there was a natural World Cup, I feel like maybe that would be my thing.
Yeah, it'd have a pretty good chance of getting up the top there, sort of thing.
Yeah, but I think maybe next year's my aim is the final, but this year top 10, hopefully.
Perhaps you need to ride a few more square edges then, Adam.
Yeah,
He thinks I'm good at natural, but when there's a square, like, oh my gosh, it's too perfect. The wall, it's too square.
do what a lot of compy riders are doing at the moment and put a street edit out, you know?
Yeah, that's a trend right now.
That's true. There is a street spot near me, but it doesn't look as good as the ones that have been put out recently. It's literally like in the middle of a roundabout. It's not.
Well, some people have mentioned to me to say, Adam, get your ass out on a street ride, at least, even if it's just for a day, to get with the Shindig boys on a video. We know, but like, this is too easy, guys. Like, come on.
Yeah, I think I'll come. I heard about a Leicester ride in a few weeks. I'll
Oh, wow.
To that.
Is there? Well, a Leicester ride.
Wow.
Oh, maybe we'll go to a Leicester. No, yeah. Well, we'll definitely get you out on the streets. We'd like to get you in one of our Shindig edits for sure, so people do realise that you do ride with others and ride.
And also how stupendously big the stuff is once you bring it to the street. That's the thing I think that people miss, is that when you see, undisclosed rock in a random location somewhere, none of us can appreciate until we've actually seen you firsthand riding.
A lot of people could
We've seen you ride firsthand, and it is just ridiculous. So, when
I think that's when people have more of a realization, because they relate to the other bits. So they'll be like, oh shit, he's riding that side. You can see people riding rocks and doing that.
He's doing a massive gap across effectively the height of a phone box, but you don't get that perspective.
But they don't know that rock. They're like, well, that's a rock. Rocks can come in any size. A phone box is one size. Like, is that kind of concept? They're like, oh, the street is boring. It's probably boring to ride, but it's amazing for people to watch. It's definitely so. You heard it here. We'll definitely be getting Adam out for a good old street ride.
So I think we've rounded this up quite neatly. Anything else you want to add, Adam? If there was a message for all the trials riders of the UK, even the world, what would it be?
To be honest, just keep enjoying riding. Like, I think lockdown has helped a lot of people just getting out on the bike and just enjoying it, really. I think a lot of people would have been in a lot of a worse place if they didn't have the bike. So just enjoy it. Just continue 100%. Doing what we're doing.
Yeah, and Adam rides on his own every day. And that within itself, I'm sure that can be tough, but, you've seen it here first.
Yeah,
you feel like you can't get out.
A lot of listeners that do ride by themselves.
They ride by themselves. There are listeners in different countries who ride by themselves. And this is that kind of realization that they're not on their own, even though they are. You know what I'm trying to say. So it's really important to make that clear that you yourself, someone who's been riding for that long time, there is something we need to make sure we get from you. Who would you want to see on the podcast, or what story would you want on the podcast?
That's quite a hard one. I'd say
you could name a person or a brand or anything like that.
Someone old school, maybe. Like, I don't know, Tim Steadman. I can remember him riding a lot.
Has anyone said Tim yet?
I think he might have come up. I know we've definitely mentioned him.
Good shout, though. Yes, Tim Steadman.
I always remember him riding when I was really young. And I always remember looking at him thinking, I want to be like that.
Yeah, no, seriously good
I
rider.
think he followed me on Instagram a little while back, and I was like, wow. No, honestly, I was like, oh my god. Like, but anyone like,
I
you
know.
know, like,
And finally, I wanted to know: do you have any insight into what might be of 2021 of the competitions? I literally know nothing myself. I'm finding out from you.
I'm not sure. Over here, there'll be something when we know, like we have clarification on when. But I heard a rumor that there's 3 World Cups, but we don't know
Okay,
when or
so
where.
there is a rumor going round now. There's not clarification, but that's good to know. Potentially 3 World Cups. That's definitely doable in this space of time.
Hopefully 3 World Cups and European and World Championships all in Europe, but who knows?
Hopefully there will be.
exciting time.
And hopefully we'll be seeing you there, Adam. We'll definitely be there to support you morally or shouting and screaming. Who knows? Maybe you'll hear us over the speakers at those competitions one day. Mate, it's been an absolute pleasure having a chat with the rider himself. I know some of you have never heard you speak, mate. They've just watched you ride for years.
Thank you for having me.
Nah, mate, really, really glad that you
Thank
came
you
on
once
and
again. Yeah,
give yourself a voice. We have been the Shindig podcast.
That's us. Tune into us every single Friday on your podcast platform of choice, and also our YouTube as well, where we can see the videos of all these podcasts and some of the odd occasional street edit.
Make sure you follow Adam Morewood on Instagram, which is
Adam Morewood.
Adam Morewood, the easiest one we've had so far. Go and check him out there. Some great clips and videos, and check out his sponsors that are on the page there as well. Amazing.
We'll see you again next time. Take care,
Thanks so
guys.
much, Adam. Ciao for now.
Bye.
Bye.